Tuesday, August 30th, 2022. Many thanks for joining us on Prime News on My Media Prime Television. I am Sama Eileen. We begin the news in the littoral region of Cameroon, where over 11 bandits have been apprehended by law enforcement officers in Bonanjo, Douala, after a recent operation in the Ancien Troisième neighborhood. These outlaws were presented to the public today. Details with Cynthia Zani.
This is what is left of a phone shop after a gang of outlaws stormed the market and went out with some costly items at Ancien Troisième in Douala littoral region of Cameroon. According to sources, these outlaws destroyed stores, which consequently left others injured. However, these suspects have been apprehended and presented to the press by the Jamie 2 in Douala.
On the 6th of August, that's 2 weeks ago, we had a situation at the Marché Congo, precisely at the Ancien Troisième, where a group of about 40 suspects attacked the market and did away with so many objects consisting of telephones, laptops and other important articles. So on our arrival, on our intervention, the guys left and we had to open an investigation following firm instructions that were given to us by our regional hierarchy. So 2 days after, we arrested the first suspect, who is by name Issa, alias La Debauche, and during his exploitation, we discovered that it was a well-organized group that has been harassing and attacking people around the Douala city area.
Meantime, the fate of the gang suspects will be known after they have been taken to the judicial police and the judicial authorities.
During his exploitation, we came across a good number of his gang members, who consist of not only Cameroonians, but also neighboring countries like Nigeria, Central Africa, Chad, and all of that. So at the moment we have arrested 11 suspects already. A handful of them are on the run, and we are still continuing with our investigations to make sure that we put a stop to this criminal activity. What next? So after this, we are going to, the next level is to take them to the judicial police, who has the competence to carry further investigations before taking them to the judicial authorities.
The population has been called upon to collaborate with the forces of law and order to limit the rate of theft in communities, especially during the back-to-school period.
The 6th of August, that's 2 weeks ago, we had a situation at the Marché Congo, precisely at the Ancien Troisième, where a group of about 40 suspects attacked the market and did away with so many objects consisting of telephones, laptops and other important articles. So on our arrival, on our intervention,
it should be noted that security forces have promised no peace to individuals who go against societal.
Relatively, a gang of 5 suspected bone traffickers aged between 20 and 26 years have been arrested by elements of the Forba Gendarmerie Brigade Noon Division of Cameroon's West Region. They were presented to the public alongside the bag containing the human bones on Monday, August 29, 2022. Get more with Fon Quintha in this next report.
In this bag is the head and arms of a lady reportedly dug up at the cemetery in Hausa Quarter neighborhood in Bafoussam, West Region of Cameroon, by a group of 5 young men. The 5 suspects, after successfully digging out the bones, confirmed to be those of a woman, fell into the dragnet of law enforcement officials in the process of selling the bones thanks to a tipper from a source.
Oui, tout part d'une exploitation de renseignements fournis par la gendarmerie.
It's all about the exploitation of information provided by a friend to the gendarme about a man identified as Master Sanaga and his friends who came to Fumbot to sell their merchandise. That's how they got connections with a man whose brother is a gendarme in Edea. This is where I got into the scene.
Celui-ci a un frère gendarme à Edea.
Following the information gotten, the Fumbot Brigade Commander Zeng Edouard Rosny pretended to be a potential buyer, leading to the arrest of the prime suspect, who disclosed the whereabouts of his accomplice. I called Massa Sanaga so we can meet in a hotel, which he did. I acted like the buyer of the human bones. When he got to the hotel, I arrested him and interrogation led to the arrest of others. The 5 suspects who were presented to the public alongside a bag containing bones took gendarme officers to the graveyard where they dug out the bones. Brigade Commander Zeng Edouard thanked the population for trusting law enforcement officials. It is thanks to the population that we laid hands on them. I want to thank the population for their confidence, cooperation and collaboration. We will do the rest. The suspects are currently under custody waiting for the law to take its full course.
Some women of the Presbyterian Church Kumba Town have marched to the chief of Bafo's palace saying he should come to their aid concerning the crisis in the church, which has aggravated as some Christians were arrested during a church service last Sunday. We have more with Nicole Tako.
Some of the women in the Presbyterian Church Kumba Town could be seen tabling their complaints to the paramount chief of the Bafo land in Kumba. Seated on the floor, they say enough is enough as they can no longer condone the ongoing crisis in the church.
Stand for pulpit, all their messages are insulting God. Their songs are communication points. They don't tell me how Bafo they don't do anything. They don't promote me to be full. So we don't decide to stand the heresy. No man who found this month with air. How you go to you day, you go hash your heads. The God will make Bafo to remain the few way they day, however they day, he gets the purpose for their lives. And they own their town, and they must get right for the town for talk. Combatant will ever remain a village congregation.
This act portrayed by the women comes after security officials reportedly stormed the church premises on the Sunday morning, arresting some of the church members who had allegedly interrupted the Sunday church service.
Problem against church, yes, you know, so we got problem for church. But no man who fight, no man who beat no man, army, police.
Onto something else, the Senior Divisional Officer of Boyo, in a later statement, has banned community and clandestine schools from operating in his area of command. Boyo is one of the divisions in the conflict-hit northwest region of Cameroon. Katrina Kongwe with details.
In a document signed and issued on August 29, 2022, the Senior Divisional Officer of Boyo, Thegi Fidele, has banned community and clandestine schools from operating within his administrative units. According to sources, these schools were banned because they were favored by separatist forces who had also banned government schools. The Senior Divisional Officer has ordered divisional officers, mayors, traditional leaders, and heads of forces of law and order to implement the ban, and urges parents and guardians to send their children to register at school. Still contained in the communique, Thegi Fidele warns anyone who violates this order, as they will be persecuted according to the rules and regulations in force. Note that community schools have been thriving in the Anglophone regions since the ongoing crisis got into an armed conflict in 2017. Many students and pupils have depended on these community schools to write official exams and stay within the 4 walls of the classroom. With school resumption in few days, many parents say the Senior Divisional Officer's moves would have a huge setback on the future of their children.
Now, the Minister Delegate at the Presidency in charge of public procurement, His Excellency Ibrahim Talba Mala, has presided over the 21st edition of the Excellence Awards to 93 students from the Department of Mayo, or the Division Mayo Sava, for Far North region of Cameroon, who have distinguished themselves by their hard work during the past academic year. Get details right ahead.
The ceremony to hand over the prizes, mainly consisting of bicycles, school items, and an envelope of 50,000 francs CFA to the 93 winners of the 21st edition of the Moral Excellence Award,
better prepared for the new academic year 2022-2023, took place at the esplanade of the Town Hall of Mora, Mayosava Division of the Far North Region. The Minister Delegate at the Presidency in charge of Public Procurement, Ibrahim Talba Mala, said the gesture is intended to reinforce the laureates.
Je sais que pour la jeunesse du Mayosava et pour la jeunesse tout court, on peut aller.
I know that the youth of Mayosava and the youth from other divisions deserve much more better than what we can offer. However, I thank all those who took part in this event to encourage the youths, especially those outstanding young people, because we are trying to prioritize the best and support them with back-to-school preparations. You know, our region is one of those regions far behind as compared to the others. But we are putting in all the effort, and for some time now, we are taking bold steps in ensuring that the education of every youth goes successful. The recipients, who could not hide their euphoria, expressed their gratitude to MINMAP. I want to thank Minister Talba Mala for the prize he gave me. This prize will take me throughout this school year. This prize will also help me to study better without any difficulties. The prize will indeed encourage me to work harder in school. This award will assist me carry on with my studies smoothly. I say thank you to Mr. Ibrahim Talaba. The 21st edition of the Mora Excellence Award rounded up with a football match which saw Sandele FC emerging victorious. The event was immortalized by the handover of trophies to the winners of the competition.
On to this other news on education. Following the resumption of teaching staff of schools across Cameroon, Professor Pauline Naloval-Yunga, Minister of Secondary Education, has set the bearing for school resumption come Monday, the 5th of September 2022. This year, the focus is on digitalization, as Nolinga tells us.
The clock is ticking as minutes are dying down to get school gongs and bells ringing again. Prelude to this, teachers are to be in school 1 week before the official school resumption of the 2022-2023 school year. And to this effect, the Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Pauline Naloval-Yunga, has called on the need to promote the digitalization of teaching as an efficient tool for training students. During the pedagogic launch in Yaoundé, Minister Naloval-Yunga sat down with stakeholders to address concerns towards the realization of this goal.
For this digitalization, the government has given us money to make those digital tools also available to the different schools. Today we are putting solar energies in the south, in the north, and southwest, northwest. It's going on gradually.
Digital learning, which initially began during the COVID-19 pandemic era in Cameroon as a way of maintaining social distancing, will now continue as a pedagogic technique to boost learning.
Let's now talk health. The Center for Disease Control has warned of the E. coli outbreak early last week as cases of infected persons keep soaring. They say the outbreak may be born from contaminated foods and vegetables like lettuce, as persons who tested positive said they had consumed foods containing the romaine lettuce. Get more in this report with Bokengo Worthy.
More than 80 persons have been reported to be infected with outbreak strain of E. coli since August 24, 2022. According to data from the CDC, Centers for Disease and Control, affected persons are between the ages of 5 to 94 years old, though very prevalent in young adults aged 24. Available information with the CDC states that of the affected persons, 38 have been hospitalized and 8 others have developed a kind of kidney failure. Though no deaths have been recorded, the CDC states that
Persons who are affected reported to have had romaine lettuce in their meals, especially in burgers. It is worth mentioning that E. coli bacteria affects one's intestine and is caused by contaminated water, including lakes and ponds, processed food, dairy product, consumption of raw contaminated vegetables, uncooked meat, poor hand hygiene, and many more. Experts say persons suffering from E. coli infection portray symptoms such as vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal cramps, blood in urine, no appetite, and are at a high risk of health hazards like urinary tract infection in adults as well as meningitis, pneumonia in infants. With research still ongoing for proper diagnosis and treatment on the outbreak, the CDC advises each and all to look out for signs and symptoms so as to get to the hospital in time, minimize consumption of processed food, as well as practice and maintain proper hand hygiene and overall sanitation.
The 18th edition of the Member of Parliament for Menchum South constituency in the Northwest region, Honorable Walang Richard Ebua's holiday tournament, played this year in Benakuma, Modele, Buhu and Wum Central, has ended with cash prize and trophies handed to winners in various games. The unity-oriented parliamentarian Honorable Walang Richard called on youth in his constituency to turn out massively for the resumption of school come September 5, 2022. Charles Kebwana reports.
Honorable Walang Richard Ebua, Member of Parliament for Menchum South Constituency Tournament, dubbed Ruth, after its bounce back to be a unifying tournament, this year centered on peace and social cohesion in the Menchum South constituency. The tournament played in Benakuma, Mudele, Bu and Wum, with cash prizes and trophies handed to winners that put smile on the faces of the youths, with peace gradually returning to Wum. The unity-oriented parliamentarian Honorable Walang Richard Ebua called on the youths of his constituency to massively return to school come September 5, 2022.
Everything to make sure that our youth should be enterprising. And with this crisis, we have to make sure that things go the right way. That our brothers who are struggling and our mothers and fathers who are parents who are struggling for children to go back to school, it is high time for us to go back to our drawing board. That education is the life wire of a country.
The August 28, 2022 finals, with community spirit felt and the need for peace from various communities in the Menchum South constituency around football as a unifying factor.
This which we are facing, I want to thank the administration of WUM for making it for us not to have crisis on top of crisis. And it is high time for us to come together to work in synergy so that we can achieve our goal. You know, like in French, we usually say, qui vivra verra. Thank you so much.
Those who attended this year's edition of the dubbed Walang Richard Unity Tournament with the promotion of living together, the elites equally lauded the quality of football in this year's final that saw Atiko FC beat Lions of Salam to crown the tournament in Wum.
Charles Kebwa reporting there. Now, youths of ESU under the banner of ESU Youth Development Association, AIDA, Fungum subdivision of the Northwest region of Cameroon came together over the weekend in Limbe to bid farewell to their fawn and queen mother who were recently murdered in the Northwest region. The ceremony equally witnessed the finals of the first edition of the AIDA Youth Competition in football and handball. Kuma Onori was there and now tells us more.
Joined by the national president of AIDA, Mr. Gideon Zufang, the purpose of the tournament is to pay homage to their fawn and queen mother who were gruesomely murdered some months and to unite the youths of ESU who are scattered all over the national territory due to the ongoing socio-political crisis. Addressing the population, the national president of AIDA called on the youths to be representative of their culture wherever they choose to settle as their second home. He was a personal bearer of a message from the cup donor Mr. May Ignatius Langam, based in the United States of America. On his part, Mr. Zhang Franklin, popularly known as Good Morning Zhang, decided to co-sponsor the tournament by donating a sum of 1 million francs CFA.
So I supported the most with 1 million francs as well.
He called on the youths to be agents of unity and development wherever they find themselves.
We see how we can bring about youth together for a common purpose, which is development. Like we have the name Ikuda, which is geared towards development. So the youths, when they come together for us to develop our community, our village, it helps us to reduce crime. You know about the crisis we are facing. Some people are fighting justly, some are taking advantage of such a crisis. And because of this coming together, so many have dropped the waywardness and they are looking towards national development. They call me a nation builder. I'm a nation builder. And I'm happy that the multitude of youth I've seen today, they have come out for nation building. And that is why I had to donate 1 million francs for them to play. Those are the same youth that we had to parade the street together to make a living. So if one of us is doing better, why not invite all of us to get to the higher height? So that's the reason why I was pushed, triggered by the first donor to assist him.
The Ida Unity Cup for the past 1 month brought together 9 branches participating in the male category and 4 participating teams for the female category. At the end of the day, Ida Tiku won the cup after beating Ida Limbe by 2-1. In the female category, Ida Limbe emerged victorious over Ida Tiku. The Ida Unity Cup ended with a gala which saw the participation of delegates from various branches and was spiced with cultural manifestations typical of the Isu clan.
In sports news, Cameroon has bowed to Germany for its second game in the ongoing Men's Volleyball World Championship in Slovenia with a score of 0-3. Although the Lions have one more game to play tonight in their group stage, their defeat against Germany crippled Cameroon's chances of qualifying for the next round of the tournament. Joy Gong has more.
All hopes have been lost for Team Cameroon for this year's Men's Volleyball World Championship. The indomitable volleyball Lions of Cameroon failed to cross the Berlin Wall during the second game of the group stage of the ongoing 2022 Men's Volleyball World Cup in Slovenia. In a match which was played in the evening of Sunday, the 28th of August at the Stozice Arena, the indomitable Lions lost to Germany 0-3. Specifically, 28 points to 30 in the first set, 14 points against 25 in the second set, and 19 points to 25 in the third and final set. Despite all efforts put in place by the indomitable volleyball players, the day was carried by a stronger and more efficient German team. This game marked a second defeat in a row for the indomitable Lions of Cameroon in the competition. The team had lost its first game to host country Slovenia on the 26th of August, 0-3. Sunday's game was a hope killer for the Lions as it placed the team at the bottom of Group B. The boys of coach Guy Roger Nanga will however face France this Tuesday, August 30, 2022 for their third outing in the competition.
It's on that note that we call it quit on today's edition of Prime News, produced by Ewane. I have been Eileen Summer for presentation. The news was compiled by Lasha Kingsley. Huge thanks for viewing. But you stay tuned to more interesting programs coming up on My Media Prime Television tonight. Up next is Prime Hour with Clement and his team. Have a blessed night. Goodbye.